Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2020-21 season. My name is Dan and today I've got for you a Game Week 27 team selection video, as well as going over my scores from Game Week 26 in the double game week, where I did indeed use my bench boost. How did we get on this week? We're going to find out, and how well are we going to get on in next week? We're going to find out that one as well. We're going to carry on with our super aggressive, risky transfers to try and first of all, help myself out to get up into those higher ranks, but also help you guys out. Maybe you're struggling this season and you really want to find a way to boost yourself up, go from a poor season to a good season, turn it all around. All to come in this video. Going to be talking about some captains and some transfers, all sorts, guys. So before we get into that, a quick word from our sponsors. Of course, these team selection videos are sponsored by OneFootball. Now, if you don't know what OneFootball is, it's a great app / website for all things football. I personally use the OneFootball mobile app to check up on scores, particularly with all this European football going on. I can't watch it all. I want to check the scores. I want to check the lineups. All I'm going to do is open my phone, I'm going to go to OneFootball, and it's all there, super easy, lineups, stats, everything. It also has football news on there as well, so everything you like, if you're into football, you'll be into the OneFootball mobile app and website. So yeah, go check it out, link at the top of my description, completely free of course. Now, here you can see how I got on last game week. 26 points for a -4, so a net points of 92. That's not too bad. That's not actually too bad at all, considering when I look through my team and I look at some of the scores, I saw my captain failed, my bench boost was a complete disaster. I mean, oh my word, guys, a 10-point bench boost is not exactly what I hoped for at the beginning of the season. But, you know, I could be disappointed as I like. I could say, oh, well, look, Cancelo blank, Salah blank, Fernandez blank, Gundogan, well, pretty much blank, Rafinha blanked, everyone on my bench blanked, DCL blanked, who's my captain. So many people blanked. But I went up, what, 34,000 places? So I can criticize this performance, but at the end of the day, I think it was just a bad game week in general. The double game week, it was hyped up for so long, and I mean, I'm a big part of hyping up that double game week. I was really excited by it, but it actually turned out to be a big disappointment, guys. And I'm sure a lot of you guys felt a similar thing, whereby you were picking what you felt were the right players, but they just kind of didn't turn up on the day. That you didn't get the points that you were expecting. There was a bit of rotation, and it turned out to be a bit of a bit of a disappointment in the end, wasn't it? To be honest, this double game week. Well, it's over now, but like I said, guys, even though I can say, oh, I'm disappointed this didn't happen, this didn't happen, gone up a lot of places. So at the end of the day, it must have been a good score. It must have been a good game week for me, because the proof is in the pudding, isn't it? If you've gone up, if you've got a green arrow, if you're rising through the ranks, even if you feel disappointed, you kind of just got to say, maybe it's one of those game weeks and everyone felt the same way as me, and actually, maybe I shouldn't be so harsh on myself, and actually we've done okay. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say we've done okay. It's not bad. I'm happy to go. You know, when you get into the top 200,000, going up 34,000 places, it's not something to be sniffed at. That's pretty good. So I'm happy. I've gone up. We're going to continue to push on. We're going to continue to push up. If I can do a similar amount of rank increase every single game week, then I guess I'd be pretty happy, and we'd be in the top 100k in no time, and then we can start pushing on to the real goals of this season, can't we? So anyway, let's move on and line ourselves up for next game week. So we're going to start off in goal with Emi Martinez, one of the actual heroes of the double game week. It kind of seems like Martinez is just an absolute hero in goal. I think we all know it by now. If you don't have Martinez, you are jealous of Martinez owners. You admit that to yourself. And if you are a Martinez owner, then, you know, he's just a safe bet for you between the sticks every single game week, isn't he? Wolves at home, it's not too bad of a fixture, to be fair. It could be a lot better. It could be a lot worse as well. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I do trust Martinez to make another 100 saves, to get another 10-pointer like he always does. I'm happy with that. Then we're going to go into defense with Cancelo. Double game week. Obviously, he didn't miss one fixture over the last double game week in game week 26, but in game week 27, he's got another double game week, and I do feel like he is going to play in both of these fixtures, because Cancelo he doesn't miss loads of games in a row. We can say, okay, yeah, he missed one game, he got rested for one game, but he played 5 Premier League games in a row before that. So, you know, it's not like he's not one of those players that's in, out the team. He's probably their best defender alongside Diaz. So, in that sense, Cancelo's going to play most game weeks. I wouldn't let one individual rest in the space of 6 games or 5 consecutive starts. I wouldn't let one rest put you off Cancelo. I really wouldn't. He's a really good player. He creates a lot. He does a lot for the team. And yeah, obviously Man City are always good for those clean sheets as well. So he stays in the team and there is nothing to worry about there as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, moving on to Luca Dean. One of the heroes of last game week. Again, one of the few players I got right. Obviously, I transferred him in for game week 26. Went really well, but I do think this will continue at least for a little bit. I was sort of targeting next game week 28 with Everton as well. So let's see what happens there. But for now, we've got a game against Chelsea. Now, Chelsea don't really score that many goals. We've seen this time and time again since Thomas Tuchel's taken over at Chelsea. They're not a big goal-scoring team. Everton, on the other hand, a couple of clean sheets in a row now. You know, maybe this is a good sign of things to come. So maybe Digne can obviously get the clean sheet. I wouldn't say that goal contributions are very likely for this Everton side, just because Chelsea don't concede a lot of goals at the moment either. But you never know. With a player like Digne, if Sigurdsson isn't on the pitch, Digne is going to be taking the free kicks, the corners and stuff like that. And he does like a good cross into the box as well. So we can see what happens there. And then we'll finish off the defence with Johnny Stones. I guess, would I say he's a legend of game week 26? Maybe. He didn't play the second game, but he played the first one and he did score a goal. So he does like a double game week in terms of scoring goals, clearly. But he is one of those players that does seem to be in, out the team. Unlike Cancelo, who maybe misses 1 in 4, 1 in 5. Stones, at the moment, it really does kind of seem like he's going to actually be playing alternate games and kind of rotating with Aymeric Laporte at Man City. We have, of course, got Nathan Ake back fit now as well at Man City, so there is probably going to be a little bit of rotation at centre back, and that kind of is going to only get worse for Stone. So I am a little bit worried about that one, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. Then moving into midfield, we've got Salah. Disappointing. Continues to disappoint, guys. He's playing against Fulham. Fulham, like I keep saying to you guys, are a tougher team than you think. Oh, they only conceded 1 goal against Spurs. A lot of you guys were saying, nah, Spurs are going to score, well, like 2, 3, 4 goals against Fulham. Fulham are, you know, they're terrible. But Fulham, you know, they're not the team they were in September. They're a lot better now. Like in October, maybe they were letting in a few goals, but now they've kind of shored it up in defence. They really have. So I'm not expecting big things from Salah. And honestly, Salah has kind of been so disappointing recently. It's kind of difficult to justify keeping him in my team. Luckily, the wild card is coming soon, so we'll see if we keep him in for that. The fixtures are going to turn around and look good for Salah in the near future. In the near past, he's taken a lot of shots, I guess, so there's that positive. Is he going to get some goals, some returns soon? I don't know. It's a tricky one, but I think he has to stay. For now, at least. And we've got Bruno Fernandez against Man City. Bruno Fernandez is a little bit of a disappointment over the last couple of games. We kind of know by now that Manchester United struggle in these big games. And Man City, I really don't think Bruno Fernandez is going to score against Man City. Manchester United's fixtures are just not good in general. They've got West Ham in game week 28, who are in hot form. Manchester United don't even play in game week 29, so there's that as well. So Manchester United are a bit of a worry right now in general. And Bruno Fernandez, I don't know. I'm not going to say he's fraudulent. He's absolutely not. He's an absolute legend of FPL. There's no doubt about it. But is now the right time? Is he as essential as he always has been? And as me, someone who basically is trying and start to be a bit differential, get ahead of the curve, is Bruno Fernandez the exact kind of player that I'd want to be transferring out, in fact, in this game week? Because I don't have high hopes of him against Man City or against West Ham, or in the blank game week, because he's not going to play in game week 29. Game week 30, I believe he plays Brighton. That's not an ideal fixture, really. And I'm wildcarding in game week 31 anyway. So, overall, there's a lot of argument to say take Bruno out. He's at over 100% effective ownership every game anyway. I'm constantly hoping that he fails. I don't want to captain him, really, in any game weeks. We'll see, guys. We'll see. And then we got Son. You know what? Son was a bit of a surprise hero of last game week. I didn't think he'd do that well, but he actually turned it on, didn't he? Got Crystal Palace at home, which is a really nice fixture as well. I think a lot of people who have sold Son recently are going to regret it, actually. Going to regret it a little bit. I did hold on to him because there's always that hope of, you know, the quality of player that Son is. I think he played really well over the double game week, and I'm kind of feeling pretty optimistic about him going forward as well. So we'll keep him. Gundogan, Manchester United at home and Southampton at home. Double game week for him as well. Very nice indeed. Gundogan, obviously, he had his one rest. But again, it's the same situation with Cancelo. Gundogan is playing every single game. When he gets rested for one game week, that doesn't mean it's time to panic. When he gets rested for one, it's not even one game week, it's half a game week. It's one individual game he got rested for. The only other times he's been out over the last months and months and months is when he's been injured. So he is still a crucial part of this Man City team. I do think there's a real good chance of him playing both games, which is really nice. Definitely a captain option for you guys. Yeah, I think there's still a lot of reason to feel positively about Gundogan. And then we're going to finish off the midfield with Rafinha, who is just on such hot form, creating more chances than anyone else in the entire Premier League right now. He's just a creative master. A bit of a hero of the YouTube channel here as well. So looking forward to seeing what he can produce. I'm not expecting massive amounts. Bamford, on the other hand, going up front against West Ham United. Obviously, I say West Ham are a difficult team, but West Ham do actually concede a few chances in the air. So aerial chances, someone like Bamford, maybe that's actually gonna work out for him, but we'll see. They're on to Ollie Watkins, Wolves at home. Now, defensively, this fixture maybe not great for Aston Villa. Well, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not like amazing. But actually looking through the stats, Wolves have had some of the highest expected goals conceded. They're conceding some of the highest amount of shots in the entire Premier League right now. They're conceding a lot of chances. So for someone like Ollie Watkins, who's the main attacker for Aston Villa, there's probably going to be a couple of chances there for him. So actually, this is actually really quite a good fixture, quite a nice fixture for Ollie Watkins. So let's see what he can do there. And then going on to our bench, Pope against Arsenal. Not too interested in playing him. We've got Ben White against Leicester. Leicester missing a couple of their attacking players right now. They've kind of got Barnes out, they've got Maddison out, they've got, James Justin, if you want to count him amongst the players who are out. Kind of maybe going to be lacking a little bit in firepower, to be honest. And then Vardy has just been playing so much football, he's going to be knackered surely. DCL against Chelsea, not interested in playing DCL against Chelsea whatsoever, because Chelsea are just not conceding enough chances. And DCL, I'm going to be honest, guys, even though I captained him, I was really disappointed with DCL's performances. I think he could have done should have done a lot better, but it just kind of wasn't quite there for him. I don't know, it just didn't quite seem right. His positioning wasn't perfect. Some of his balls weren't ideal. So, yeah, kind of going off him a little bit and happy to bench him against a really difficult Chelsea game away. That defence is not something I'm too interested in attacking, to be honest. And then we've got Ben Mee against Arsenal. Again, not really interested in that one at all. Arsenal are actually doing quite well at the moment, which is great to say as an Arsenal fan. It's the first time I've been able to say it for a long time. I know that we've been okay for the past maybe month or so. We're doing okay. So, yeah, and Burnley are doing really bad. Another big disappointment, to be honest. I think I am regretting going in on Burnley players, to be honest, for that double game week a few game weeks ago. I think I overcommitted maybe, because Burnley they're just not doing it defensively, are they? And they kind of proved that. They conceded 4 goals against Spurs. They conceded 1 goal against Leicester, even though Leicester don't have any attackers fit in their entire team, other than Vardy, of course. So yeah, it's a difficult one, and so I'm just going to bench the Burnley players until I eventually can use my wild card and just say, see you later. Basically, that's the situation that I find myself in. So, we are going to keep going with the aggressive transfers. We are going to go differential with our transfers. We are going to go a little bit crazy, as always, as we are every week. It seems to be working so far, trying to get ahead of the crowd and make some interesting differential, aggressive transfers and attacking fixtures a lot, and kind of upside chasing a little bit. So we're going to continue in that very vein, guys. That's exactly what we're going to continue to do, and we're going to make 2 transfers. And this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. So it's going to be John Stones out for Lewis Dunk, and it's going to be Bruno Fernandez out for Kevin De Bruyne. That's what's happening, guys. That is what's up. So the kind of situation is that Stones really worried about him, the rotation. It's not good, especially going into a double game week. I want a player that's going to be playing twice, really, and I feel like De Bruyne kind of offers that a little bit more. With Dunk, I know that he's got this really nice fixture against Newcastle in game week 29. Game week 29 is going to be a game week where people are really going to struggle for points, and I kind of feel like a Brighton defender. So Brighton basically statistically are the second best defence in the entire league right now based on underlying stats. Dunk is, he gets on the end of headers. He tries to score free kicks. I say tries to score free kicks very, very meaningfully there. And Newcastle, of course, are missing Almiron, Alan Saint-Maximin, and right up until April, Callum Wilson is kind of touch and go whether he'll be ready for game week 29. So it's kind of a situation where Newcastle, who already aren't particularly good in attack, are now missing a lot of attacking players up against Brighton, a very good, statistically good defensive team. Maybe that's exactly what I want to do. Double up on the Brighton defence going into game week 29 with Ben White and Lewis Dunk. That's going to be really, really nice, and see what those guys can do. That could be a real differential going into that game week, and a really good way of attacking the fixtures, to be honest. So doing that allows me to then bring in KDB for Bruno Fernandez. Bruno Fernandez, like I say, he's so template and not performing. When a player is really template and not performing, that's a great opportunity to get rid of him, get ahead of the crowd, because a lot of people will simply not be getting rid of Bruno Fernandez, not because they really want Bruno Fernandez in their team, but because they're scared of getting rid of him, because everyone has him, and if he does score, if he does get an assist, then that will punish them. And that's fair enough to have that fear, but you can't, when you're trying to gain rank quickly, you can't really play with fear. You kind of have to play a little bit fearlessly. And KDB, his ownership in the sort of the top 100k, or top 200k, is only around 6 or 7%. He's really not that highly owned. So I can bring him in as a differential. And I've got this double game week for him. He's arguably the best player you'd want to have during this double game week, right? So it's differential. It's attacking the fixtures. I've got rid of a player who is not performing and is incredibly highly owned, and basically just used his slot up on something that is going to be so more powerful in terms of gaining in rank. It's just really a really nice aggressive transfer that I really like. And even though I have taken a -4, I do think it is worth it, to be honest, because one, I've got Lewis Duncan, which is a nice transfer. It aids me towards my goal of setting up for game week 29 with 9 players, which is what I can do now. I'm definitely going to be able to get 9 players for game week 29 now, which I think is enough. Also, I've got KDB, and what else have I got? I've got a captain option. So KDB is going to be my captain for game week 27. Son is going to have the vice captain. Let's just stick that on him, just because I don't like having a captain and vice captain on the same fixture or the same team, just in case the fixture gets cancelled or something like that. So yeah, we have got KDB captain now, which is really good, really good. I mean, KDB has not had the best underlying stats recently, I'm not going to lie, but you kind of go on the assumption that he's just a fantastic player. I think maybe that's what's putting a few people off him, maybe, but he is the absolute king, isn't he? He was smashed it last season. He has been good in parts this season. He is playing twice. He is differential. There's so much to like about having a KDB in your team right now, so why not do it? Why not get ahead of the pack? You know, is every chance that people are going to be scrambling to get Bruno out of their team next game week, the game week after, who knows? And I'm 1 step, 2 steps ahead, and I just like it. I just like this aggressive way of playing. And when I look at this team, I've got 3 Manchester City players all on double game weeks who all genuinely have a really good chance of playing both fixtures, which that wasn't the case before. When you kind of got your Stones and you got Sterlings, and even if you got a Mahrez or someone like that, you really do have this risk of them not playing 2 games. In fact, it's very unlikely that they'll play both games. But with these 3, I think it's more likely that each of them individually, I think it's more likely that they play both than play just one. So that's exactly kind of what I'm after. I have taken a slight loss in my team value by taking out Bruno Fernandez, but points are worth more than team value, and I think this is progressive. I think it's attacking the fixture. I think it's upside chasing. I think it's good. I think it's good, guys. I continue to feel positive, and I will continue to get green arrows. I know it. I know it. I got this in the bag. Now the injury curse is lifted, I've not had an injury in a few game weeks. We are on a roll. We're on a roll. We're going to do this. Keep making positive, aggressive transfers. I love it. But I am interested to know what you guys think as well about this. You're probably going to call me crazy for getting rid of Bruno Fernandez. Whatever, guys, whatever. Just because you're too scared to do it doesn't mean I'm not. But yeah, no, I'm going to go for it, guys. I'm going to go for it because it's got to be done. It's got to be done. We're gonna rise up those ranks. But there we go, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please do give a big thumbs up on it. Subscribe if you're new around here, of course. Check out OneFootball in the description if you fancy. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, join my mini league or anything else, all the links are in the description. Until then, guys, I'm gonna have to see you on tomorrow's deadline stream tomorrow morning. So do try and join me for the deadline stream if you are around. If you're around and about, we can hang out for a bit, talk a little bit of FPL, answer some of your questions, chat in general. You know, all the good stuff. So that's exactly what we'll do, guys, tomorrow morning, Saturday, before the game week 27 deadline, 1 hour before. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.